There's our goods train loaded with chemicals and some electronics in there somewhere as well. There it goes. And there it goes. And we just got to run after it right now. Look at that lovely scenery. Look at it. Come on, let's do this. Let's give it some more power. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We are flying. We are absolutely flying right now. Just gonna go straight ahead here through the steel mill. Oh no! No, 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 no. We're on the collision course here. Nope, we don't want this. We don't want this. I must say, it really feels good to blow off some steam. Haha. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Derail Valley. And you may remember in the last episode we drove the diesel shunter. We took a bit of a break from this lovely steam engine because it was just costing me too much money to run in fees, early on in the game at least. So in this episode I think you'll be happy to know that I've decided I'm going to give the diesel shunter here a little break and we're going to switch back to driving the lovely steamer. So in this episode we've got a 384 ton load of ISCA chemicals. And one of the reasons why we can actually drive the steam locomotive again, I would say, is because of this license that I recently acquired in the last video. And this license allows us to pull some longer trains basically and make some more money. So with the increased profits we'll be making, we can afford to drive the steam locomotive once again. Just going to make my way over to the station office here just to grab the job card, and here it is. We looked at this briefly in the last video as well. So to deliver ISCA chemicals and ISCA electronics from goods factory in town where we are right now over to machine factory in town. So this is a 384 ton load. So we can take that from here basically, come out, turn left, come down this straight past the steel mill, go right through the farm, right again, and then right at City Southwest. Always a bit of a tricky one there. Bear left, continue straight on, and then basically deliver at the machine factory in town. So that should be a nice little run, and it's going to net us a cool 20 odd grand, almost $21,000. So I think we'll go ahead and validate this job and get this thing underway. Now I could use the diesel shunter to take this load. That would certainly be quite a challenge, especially just using one diesel shunter because it's quite a heavy load, I must say. But I'm leaning more towards taking the steam locomotive purely just because it's more stable, it's heavier, it will use more consumables, so it will cost us a bit more money, but I think it's worth it. So let's head on over to the D20 or D20 track, which I believe is over this way back towards where the locomotive is right now. Okay, so basically we got to take our steam locomotive, which is just over there, and we've got to pull forward and then reverse into this little siding here, and then basically connect up to all of these wagons right here. So here they are, the ISCA branded containers. Okay, so let's go fetch the locomotive. Let's just hop in here. Alright, so first order of business is we got a little bit of coal from last time actually, and I did service this locomotive. I paid all the fees off, so it's got a full load of coal and a full load of water as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump back into the cab. So we've got to get this fire going, so basically get our lighter, which is all the way at the end of our inventory. Go ahead and light it up, and whoops, press the G key to throw it. Okay, so get the fire going. It's just going to take a moment or two to get going. Just going to bring the water level up a little bit whilst we wait for the fire to establish. Now I think with today's run going to have quite a busy time driving the steam locomotive, as you'll see, because there's quite a lot to do when there's a steam locomotive underway with a fairly reasonable load behind it. There'll be quite a lot of shoveling and water management, and obviously washing the track as well. It's worth noting obviously that in real life running a steam locomotive is the job of two people, effectively, the driver and the fire person. But obviously in this game we are doing the job of two people, so yeah, there's that. Alright, so boiler pressure, we're going to wait till that gets to about 3 bar there on the gauge. and we should find that the brakes will hopefully start becoming released. So I've got the brakes in release position, just giving it a bit of throttle, but you can see there it's not really moving. Well, it's moving slightly, okay. But if you look at the brake pipe, you can see that the brakes are very, very slowly coming off now. When that pointer hits about 4.5 or 5, I think it is, then the brakes are fully released. So the brakes are still holding the train back. We've got very low pressure in the boiler still, so I'm not expecting this thing to go shooting down the track here, but the brakes are almost off now. So yep, here we go. Actually, brakes are coming off, so I've got the throttle on already, so that's why it's starting to move. One of the things I enjoy, obviously, about the steam engine is there's a lot to do, there's a lot to watch, and a lot to manage, so you're never kind of bored driving one of these things. Sorry, I forgot to warn you that time that I was going to blow the whistle. Just ran through those points there. Alright, so we're just going to go forward a little bit here, and then when we reach this set of points just coming up here, we'll just proceed slightly beyond them. I'll go ahead and change the direction, and then we'll reverse, and hopefully everything is set up behind us correctly. So I just did that just before. Okay, there's our points, so stop, and I'm going to do a naughty thing here and jump off a moving train. Let's go ahead and change these points. Yep, so that's the direction we want to be headed. Back into the cab, and move it into reverse. Brakes off. Yeah, boiler pressure is nicely coming out. Ooh, water's coming down. Water consumption is quite accelerated, like I think I've said before. I can't wait for them to actually develop a more realistic steam simulation, I guess you could say, of the steam engine. I think that is in the works, if I'm not mistaken. That is definitely something I'd be looking forward to, because it will allow you to basically drive the train in a more realistic manner. You know, your pressures will take a lot longer to build up and deplete. Your water won't run out so fast. And maybe if we're lucky, we'll get a boiler explosion or two modeled as well. Okay, firebox temps are coming down a little bit, so it might need a little bit more coal. I'm just going to close up the doors there to maintain a bit of heat, hopefully. Not sure if that's actually modeled, but steam pressure is up there, so we're doing fine. I'm not going to touch the fire right now. Just going to reverse into the siding. And you can see here it's really handy to have those points set ahead of time as well for that reason. Yep, there's our little low temperature alarm for the fire. But we're doing fine, I think. Let's just add a bit more water. About halfway on the boiler. Fire's coming down, but that can wait a little bit. I'm just going to focus on connecting up the train right now. Just going to give it a bit more throttle here. And we should be underway very, very shortly once we hook up to these carriages. We'll basically proceed forward. There's a bit of a U-turn up ahead, a long curve in the track that will get us heading in the direction that we are facing right now, actually. Okay, getting closer now to the containers. Shouldn't be too long now. I'm terrible at judging the distance actually from this view, and I do like to cheat by just getting out and having a look, but this time I'm going to see if I can't do this from the cab itself. Just get on the brake there a little bit. Don't want to be going too fast here. I think I'm still way off, to be honest. Come on. Oh, there we go. I think that's it. Get on outside and have a quick look. Yep, okay, fantastic. So just going to couple up here to the containers, air hose, air valves. Main coupler is connected. You can hear the air rushing through the rest of the container wagons there. You can listen to that air just rushing through. So the brakes are being released right now, so let's quickly hop back inside. And we should be good to go now. So just check on our brake. Yep, brakes are pretty much fully released. Okay, so off with the locomotive brake. Whistle again. Fire is looking very sad actually, so let's go ahead and add some more coal as we start to move off here. Just conscious of not letting the fire burn down too much. Now that we've got a bit of a load behind us, we do need a good amount of fire in the firebox. Steam pressure is being managed quite well. I'm glad that the relief valve was not going crazy. Not good to have that constantly going off in the station. And we are underway. So we'll go straight ahead like I said, and there's a bit of a curve coming up to the left hand side. Basically it's going to turn us 180 degrees and we'll start heading back in the correct direction in just a second. Just going through this curve here. You can feel the train kind of slowing down a bit as there's more resistance and friction as the entire load tries to make its way around this curve. Quite a sharp curve, has to achieve a 180 degree rotation I guess in a fairly short distance. So got the platform coming up ahead of us here, passenger platform, and then once we go beyond that we'll be leaving the station limits. We'll be out of goods factory and town finally, and we'll be making our way over to machine factory and town. So it won't be too much longer now. We'll be going through the platform. There's our goods train loaded with ISCAR chemicals and some electronics in there somewhere as well. There it goes. There it goes. And we just got to run after it right now on the passenger platform, and we should be able to jump into the cab. There we go. Okay, so this is the passenger platform I was just talking about. They haven't implemented any passenger services in Derail Valley as of yet, but I do hear that it is on the roadmap for eventual development, so that'll be cool to have. I know that there are passenger carriages already in the game, but they are, well, pretty much non-functional at the moment. They're just for cosmetic use, and you can walk through them and whatnot. There's a bit of a tunnel in front of us, so once we go through the tunnel, we'll be headed downhill, and we'll be well and truly out of here. So onwards we go. Okay, so here's the tunnel. Got a 70 km/h limit in front of us. Just going to close up the firebox doors here as we head through this tunnel. And I'm basically more or less off the throttle at the moment, so the train is very much just coasting. And you'll note that you can start to hear the rhythm of the valve gear there increasing. And we are picking up speed, so I'm not going to touch the throttle. Yep, we are definitely on the downhill section here, so no need for any power right now. One thing to be wary of when you've got a lot of weight behind you is the train will pick up speed and it will run away from you if you're not careful, so you have to be very careful here. We'll have to get on the brake shortly if this thing starts to pick up any more speed. Yep, definitely on the downhill section here, judging by those grade signs behind us. Just getting ready on the brake here. Just coasting nicely for the moment. Oops, I always do that. The whistle just rang itself there. Coasting very nicely at the moment. Could probably be adding a little bit of power to go a little bit faster, but what's the point when the train is very much nicely just cruising along right now, under control. No need to cause any additional upset we are actually increasing in speed. So got to be extra vigilant here. Got a bit of a right-hand curve coming up. I think I'm going to get on the brake a little bit actually. Just a touch of brakes. Just reduce that brake pressure a little bit. Just to put a little bit of braking on. Okay, so we're coming up to our junction. Just get off the brake here. Okay, that looks like a 60 km/h limit there for the fork in the track. Swatch through this little window here. Yeah, we've got our left-hand junction coming up. A little bit more brakes. Ooh, hang on. Oh no, that's too much brakes. Too much brakes. Okay. Bit overzealous there on the brakes, sorry about that. Now I'm just adding a bit of power to keep the train moving. How embarrassing. Apologies for that little technical error, folks. We'll be underway again very, very shortly. Better safe than sorry though, right? So we've got our left-hand junction, well, got our little fork coming up at least. We'll be heading over to the left-hand side. Just add a little bit more water here. Have to be extra vigilant on the water, as you can tell. I've added water so many times so far in this video, and we've only just really begun our run. So, switch is set correctly, 50 km/h to the left-hand side. Going through those points there. Again, off the throttle, no need to add any power right now. A lot of this track is going to be downhill on the way as we head westerly. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I was hoping to do a bit of a hill climb in this video, but obviously the track so far is mostly just level and downhill, but that will change as we go past the City Southwest region. But yes, for the moment, just cruising through here. Always got to be careful with a long train behind you. And just realized as well that pulling this amount of carriages would not be possible if we didn't have the long train license, which we just acquired in the last video. So definitely making progress here, which is good. Okay, just going to add a little bit more coal to the fire here. We do have a bit of a straight section coming up ahead of us. So in just a second, I'll be adding a little bit more power. I'm just going to start adding the power now, actually, because that straight section will take us almost up to 60 mph, basically, almost 100 km/h. So I'm going to need a little bit of coal in the firebox there to sustain that amount of power and acceleration. Now obviously at the moment we've got the grade working in our favor. Train's picking up speed quite easily, so just inch back, ease off the throttle a little bit here. Okay, we've got a bit of a left-hand curve coming up shortly, but once we're through that, we're going to be able to really open it up. So 80 km/h already. We'll just let the carriages pass that speed sign a little bit. We'll go through this curve, whistle, passing over a bridge here. That lovely view. I would love for them to implement the day-night cycle and even weather in this game eventually. That would really, really make this a real train simulator. There's nothing like driving a steam locomotive in the rain. I used to love doing that in some of those other simulators. Nice long curve. Train is rolling along very nicely indeed. I can definitely hear it picking up speed. Ooh, okay, so doing about 60k an hour so far. The limit is 80 around here, so still shy of the limit. And okay, so here's the straight section. So let's go ahead and open up the throttle. Just going to adjust the valve gear a little bit, and let's go. Oh, look at that boiler pressure. It's just being eaten up. Let's get the fire stoked a little bit. Come on, shovel out. Yep, we are definitely picking up speed. You can hear that. We are flying. We are absolutely flying right now. Almost doing 60 miles an hour. Okay, I'm going to back off the throttle. Yep, that's 90 kilometers an hour right now. So 50 miles an hour plus. Ooh, okay, limit's coming down to 90, so yep, we are absolutely chugging along right now. And these kinds of speeds wouldn't be possible in the early editions of this game. Line speeds have really increased with all the updates that have been happening, so that's really nice. Just getting on the brake here, just to put a little bit of a damper on the speed, because we've got a curve coming up and I'm sure the limits will start to reduce now. It's passing over this other bridge. And we'll be coming up to the steel mill shortly, so just keep the water coming on. Don't want the boiler to run dry. Just coasting once again. So added all that extra coal. Probably didn't need that, to be honest, but good to have. Boiler pressure's under control. It's not too high, at least. Alright, we've got another mostly straight section coming up. Oh god, hang on, I can hear the train slowing down. I'm gonna have to increase this throttle. I think we've hit a bit of an uphill section here, so the train is really slowing down. Let's add a bit more valve gear. It's imperative to close up the valve gear as you increase speed, obviously, because you don't want to burn away all your steam pressure. And it's just more efficient that way as well. But as you begin to slow down, you have to dial up the valve gear again, obviously. Actually, I'm glad that we did add a few shovel loads of coal just before, because we did need that just now. We are eating into the steam pressure a bit. Just close up the doors because I can see the fire is coming down a bit. Alright, here we are. The whistle's ringing itself again. We do need to ring it, however. This is the entry point for the steel mill. So just going to go straight ahead here through the steel mill. Oh no! No, 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 no. We're on the collision course here. Nope, we don't want this. We don't want this. I wasn't paying attention. The switches were set from the last video, and they were set to go basically onto this siding. Ah, man, that's annoying. You really got to keep your wits about you, because if I wasn't looking out, we would have smashed right into those carriages. How about that? Well, that was disaster averted at least, but it's annoying now because we just have to reverse. We basically got to be on the other track, not this track, so yeah, it's annoying. Anyway, let's just reverse. I won't bore you all with this actually. I'm just going to back out here and get onto the main line. That's the track we need to be on, right there. Okay, so we are almost through the steel mill here. We are on the main line once again. There's a bit of a right-hand junction coming up soon. And once we go through that, we should be looking at the farm. And then once we're through the farm, we should be all the way across over to the western side of the map. to City Southwest. So it won't be long now, and we've got a bit of a right-hand curve coming up soon. So say goodbye to the steel mill and say hello to the farm in just a moment. Just make sure we set this junction correctly, otherwise we'll be in trouble. We'll be going the wrong way. So right hand curve as we want it to be, rolling through these points. 60 kilometers an hour. Ooh, minus 1.7, so quite a bit of a downgrade here. So yeah, watch this thing as it just speeds up in no time. There's quite a bit of weight behind us, so those train carriages are really going to push us real fast. Well, it's going to accelerate at a pretty good rate. Just bearing in mind I don't have any steam applied right now, because there's no need. If I had the power on, I'd be flying down this hill. I'd be going way too fast. Alright, things looking good. Doing about 40k an hour now. Limit's 60. Got a little bit of a bridge coming up here, and that looks like 90 kilometers an hour there, the limit. Well, just keep things steady, because I know that we've got a bit of a curve coming up to the left. Okay, so just about to enter the farm right here. Whistle. Lots of tractors here as expected, because it is a farm after all. Very nice, very nice. Onwards we go. Okay, so there's the farm gone. We've got Oil Well Central ahead of us, which is just a straight run. And then a bit of a junction as well, which we want to continue just going straight. And then we'll be at City Southwest, which is basically pretty much the westernmost section of the map. So, got the oil well coming up here. Got some level track ahead of us, so no problems. Everything is rolling along nicely here. Going to add a bit more power because we are slowing down. Just keep these water levels topped up once again. We should be at the oil well shortly. We're just going to go straight through. Just coasting through the oil well here. Got a lot of oil tanks. Okay, so up ahead we've got a little bit of a left-hand curve, and then we've got the junction after that, which we just have to pay attention to and just make sure that we go straight through and not veer off to the left-hand side. Look at the lovely scenery as well on the western region of this map. Got a lovely body of water there on the left-hand side. It's just snaking its way through and following us as we go. Very nice indeed. Okay, so here's the left-hand curve, and then we've got the junction, which we just have to pay a bit of attention to, so it should be coming up quite shortly now. Again, I've got the power off because we don't need power. I've got an excess of steam pressure, but what can you do? I must say this run so far has been quite straightforward and quite relaxing even. But as we get towards the end of the run now, there's going to be some uphill sections that's going to give us a bit of a challenge, but hopefully not too much of a challenge. Look at that lovely scenery. Look at it. This is what driving a train's all about. Just get our comms radio out here in just a second. Yep, we're coming up to the junction now. Junction is set correctly, so no need to do anything. rolling through at a nice, reasonable pace here. Everything's looking good. On the left hand side there, I know from experience that's quite a grade going up that hill there. So if we were going that way, you'd really have to get ready with the throttle. Just going to add a little bit of power anyway. Just kind of speed things along. We've got a nice uneventful section of track ahead of us, and then we're going to be basically at City Southwest, and then from there we just hang a right and go straight north up to Machine Factory in town. A lot of overgrowth in this section. Whoa, hang on. Ah, no. That kind of caught me off guard there, that curve. I was going a little bit too fast for my own liking, but we're okay. So we'll keep on going. We'll keep this train moving. Some more lovely scenery down here. Very nice. Can hear the buffers in the cars just slamming into each other there. Okay, City Southwest is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Really just been babysitting this locomotive so far. It really hasn't been doing a lot of work for us. Just been letting the terrain take us over to our destination. How great is that? Alright. Got to pay a bit of attention here because this part always gets me a little bit confused. This junction right here always end up going the wrong way. This time I'm determined to go the right way and not go into City Southwest because we don't want to go there. We want to go away from City Southwest. So that looks like that's done the trick this time. I hate it when you take the wrong way and then you got to stop the train and then reverse. But this time we've done it. So hello and goodbye City Southwest. We'll see you at some point in the future, I'm sure. But today we would just want to pass through and continue on. So that's it. We're pretty much finished heading west. Now we turn towards the north. And we've got a nice 80km/h section coming up in front of us. So just going to put the throttle on here and begin our journey north. And this is basically, I guess you consider the last leg of the run here. So I just want the map here to have a look and see. So yes, we've just passed City Southwest. And we've just got basically 2 junctions ahead of us, and then we're basically in Machine Factory in town, which is our destination where we need to be today. So add this throttle on, and I think I'm going to need a bit more coal, so let's go ahead and just juice up the locomotive, because even though our pressure is quite high, we are going to need a good amount of power actually. So just to be prepared for any gradients and whatnot. I'm pretty sure there's a bit of a grade ahead of us at some point, and I want to pick up some speed here. It's 80km/h zone, so come on, let's do this. Let's give it some more power. Let's go. Time to pick up some speed. Okay, so nice steady section ahead of us, nice and straight, more or less, just a very slight curve there. So really want to keep the speed, get the speed up on this thing. And judging by how quickly it's accelerating, I don't think we're climbing a grade at the moment, so no problems there, but you can see the pressure's really being eaten into once again. Let's just dial back on the valve gear a little bit. Oh, 120 km/h now, the limit. So let's just, let's add a bit of water. This goods train is really getting going now. Alright, limits come down to 100 kilometers an hour now, so just got to be wary because I'm sure the limit's going to keep reducing in just a second. We've got a bit of a junction up ahead as well, so don't want to go too fast through there. Yep, it's dropping down. Now it's 80. Okay, we're pretty much on 80, so we've ended up doing the limit pretty much. Whilst I'm enjoying this really swift amount or degree of travel here, gonna have to put the brakes on a little bit, unfortunately. So here comes the junction, and in no time we're slowed down. So I think we are on a gradient now. We're on the hill. We're on a hill. Yep, I definitely think this is a hill because I know from experience this section here is definitely a hill. Let's just inch back up on the valve gear, give it some more power, give me power. Oh no, I might have gone a bit too heavy-handed on the brakes once again. Yep, we're going to need some good power coming through here. Let's keep this throttle on, the train's going to drag us back. Yep, going to need some decent torque coming through here, through the points there. Alright, so now it's level again, more or less. But it takes time for the carriages to get over that hump, as it were, so... Yeah, I'm glad I added that extra bit of coal just now, because you can see there that the pressure was really getting eaten into. And once again, for the upteenth time, adding more water. Just looking at the left-hand side here. Okay, so we've just got one more junction ahead of us there. Just got to make sure that that's set to the right hand side, and then once we've done that, we've got a 70 kilometer an hour limit there, I can see as well. Once we've done that, we are pretty much home free, so we can park this thing up and get our $20,000 of pay for our run today. So 1.5 gradient, here comes the hill again. This is a big hill actually. Pour on the steam. Yep, definitely got a bit of a grade here, and our temperature's dropping. So let's get a little bit of coal into here. Want to make sure that we keep the speed up. Don't want to slow down and then start spinning wheels and whatnot, especially with a fairly heavy train behind us. Junction set fine. Through the points we go, the last set of points, and that's it. We are home free. So last little section here, nice little aqueduct that spans this wide lake that we're about to travel over, and everything is looking good. So once we pass over this bridge, we are basically into machine factory and town. We've got a nice 90 kilometer an hour speed limit now, so no worries about speed. I like these long open expanses of track. It's the curves that really kill this thing, especially with the weight behind you. So we need to basically, I'm just having a look to see which track we need to be on. So C31 or C3I. I've got no idea where that is, unfortunately, and I know there's a bit of a grade here, so I'm going to try not to stop the train too soon here. Alright, I've got a feeling that I've got to be over to the right hand side. Just keep the power on because this is a grade. I'll stop the train shortly. Did it again. Okay, I think we can apply the brakes now. I think we're pretty safe. It's been a little while since I've been at Machine Factory in town, folks, so I just need to jump out and have a bit of a look and just see where we need to be. I'll leave the locomotive and train parked up here just for a second. Make sure it's got enough fuel to keep going, not run dry. And we'll go for a little bit of a wander And we are basically here at the destination. We just need to go for a bit of a wander and find out where we need to be, where we need to park up our load of cargo. So let's go and do that. Found the C3I, basically this track right here. So just need to go ahead and set the points now, and we should be good to bring our train into this lovely little siding and then call it a day. So just checking all the points are good. I think this one needs to change actually, so we'll just change that. Excellent. All right, let's go and grab the train and bring it in. Lots of new cars there on the right hand side. Okay, so we'll go ahead and park it here. And I saw quite a few steam engines, and there was a DE6 diesel electric locomotive, the big one, which I don't yet have a license for. There was one of them there as well. And there was a little shunter as well, at least one of those. So I'm not too worried about taking this locomotive with us today. I'm just going to leave it here. There's a little unloader control panel. This is basically the end of the line, so let's go ahead and apply the brake. And we'll go across to the station office and go ahead and grab our money, and then we'll be done for this run. So let's go ahead and just apply the loco brake, train brake, make sure the valve gear is more or less centered. And as we normally do, we'll go ahead and put out the, there's the blower, don't need that. Go ahead and put out the fire. That's done. Then we'll go ahead and get rid of the excess steam pressure as well. It's not too bad, but I must say it really feels good to blow off some steam. Haha. Okay, that's done, so we'll go ahead and leave everything here. Let's go and find the station office. I've just had a bit of a wander and I've stumbled upon the military station office and the military section of Machine Factory in Town, which we can't quite enter because we don't have a military license authorization thing. I can see there's a tank and there's some super secret military stuff in there, which we can't quite get into right now, but yeah, maybe in the future sometime. But I'm sure we can use the station office here in the military zone to actually get our money. So we're going to take some money off the army today. There's 2 drops here as well for the military, but obviously you do need that military clearance to actually perform these jobs. So there's ammunition, there's military supplies, but today all we're interested in obviously is validating our job. Let's go ahead and do that and get our money. So there's almost 21 grand right there, so that's pretty cool. I didn't get the time bonus, unfortunately. Completed it in 69 minutes as opposed to the required 48 that is required to get the time bonus, but oh well, that's not too bad. Still got a fair chunk of money in return, and we've got a fair wad of cash in our wallet. So I think we'll end it here, and we'll have a bit of a look and see where we're at next time. I really do want to drive a different locomotive next time, maybe the DE6, if I can get the license for that before the next video. And I just realized there's the station office that I was looking for when I stumbled upon the military station office. But oh well, there you go. So we don't really need this. There it is there, where we were. And this is the civilian version. So anyway, in here there's quite a few jobs, civilian jobs as well, that we can take. But we'll see how we go. May end up at another station in the next video. Anyway, I think we'll call it here. Just wanted to quickly end the video just showing off this lovely DE6 diesel electric locomotive, which I would really like to drive at some point. They've got 2 here at Machine Factory in Town, And as you can see here, I do have that little pop-up that says I need the DE6 license. So unfortunately, can't quite drive this beast at the moment. Look at those bogies, they're absolutely huge. Got some massive axles on there. But yeah, as I said before, I've got a huge variety of locomotives here. So you can really take your pick if you've got the license to drive them. Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment below if you want to see anything in future in particular in Derail Valley, or anything else really. And I shall see you in the next one.